Court said that this is something that we cannot consider. Also, very pointed judgment over there, pointed observations rather, saying that we can't direct the collegium to reconsider many cases where judges aren't made permanent. Now, it was, of course, saying that the collegium tracks the appointments of these judges, and the collegium would be aware of, whether she had a political slant or not. Tell our viewers in terms of what really happened inside the court. We are learning that the Supreme Court said that there is a difference between eligibility and suitability. Regarding suitability, the court cannot go into it since the process will then become unworkable. I think we've got Swapnil Kothari back with us on the phone line. Swapnil, just coming back to you. We were talking about this just a while earlier, Swapnil, where we were mentioning the fact that she did go through the collegium process, and that's the view of the court as well, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, the Supreme Court is absolutely right in drawing a distinction between eligibility and suitability. The Supreme Court has to go by the Constitution. The Constitution prescribes eligible criteria: 35 years of age, 10 years of practice in the High Court or lower court, both put together, citizen of India. And then you have the RAW and the IB investigating the background of the judge as to, whether the person is does not have any questionable affiliation somewhere abroad or anything of that sort, or has been involved with something which is nefarious. And once all of those things are checked in the checkbox, in the tick box, that's all it takes. Now to say that somebody like Narendra Modi, somebody like BJP, somebody always speaks in favor of BJP, by that notion, I think the Republic TV should not be allowed to, be beamed at all, because most of the time it talks about BJP, but it's about to have an opinion. There's nothing wrong in having one, and it's very steadfast on its opinion. It's very firm. It's not about BJP that Republic TV is talking about. It's about a solidity, character, integrity, and a great Prime Minister. That's what it's talking about. So likewise, if Victoria Gauri has an affiliation or a slant towards a particular party, right, that in no way is going to get in dispensation of justice. And to be very fair, Republic TV pulls up BJP whenever it seems to be straying away from the constitutional parameters or straying away from its party duties. So what is wrong?
Right, absolutely. Swapnil, thank you for joining us on that one. So as we are pointing out, of course, the court has in no uncertain terms said that it relies heavily on the collegium process. Justice Gauri also going on to say that I also have a political background. Before joining the court as a judge, I have been a judge for 20 years and my political background has not come in my way. The Supreme Court then saying that it cannot direct the collegium to reconsider its recommendation relating to Victoria Gauri, and saying that there have been many instances where additional judge was not made permanent when the performance was not satisfactory. So very dramatic developments that took place today. Of course, on the one side, Justice Gauri, Judge Gauri was taking an oath, and on the other side, her appointment by the collegium was being questioned inside the Supreme Court. In fact, the Supreme Court had to rearrange the timing of the court where it would listen to this petition, but the court finally dismissing the plea, saying that they rely on the collegium process, and that's obviously something that cannot be questioned. Well, going to another big story that we're tracking this morning, the Supreme Court has also dismissed a plea of journalist Rana Ayyub challenging summons by the Ghaziabad Special Court in a money laundering case. A bench of justices J.B. Padriwala as well as V. Ramasubramaniam allowed Ayyub to raise the issue of jurisdiction before a trial court, saying that it is a question of evidence. Let's go across to Rhythm. She has more details on this. Yes, Rhythm, tell us more of what happened.
Okay, let me absolutely look at a big setback in the country has no mistake that the money laundering charges that had been put against will continue. The Supreme Court has gone into great details, and they stated when they refused to excite the proceedings initiated against Rana Ayyub by the special court, that there were certain things that had been staged against her. In fact, there was an argument made that she had been arrested, etc. But the Supreme Court said that under the PMLA section, any fixed activity used projecting as untainted property, claiming as untainted property, is said to have taken place. Now, Navi Mumbai, where the bank account of Rana Ayyub was allegedly located, is the destination where the proceeds of crime had reached. The question is whether any of the 6 activities had taken place, which has to be decided based on evidence. Therefore, they leave it open to the court. Remember, she came under scanner by the federal agency for allegedly cheating the public by misappropriating charitable donations worth 2.6 times more, and also for receiving overseas donations without registration of the SCRA Act 2010. Now, the investigation was initiated against her on the strength of an FIR registered in 2021 in Ghaziabad, after which the ED saw that there were several misappropriations and cheating arguments that had been put against her. A big setback to her, as the Supreme Court says the investigation will continue.
Right, absolutely. So the Supreme Court very, very clear saying that these investigations will continue. Also, Rhythm, what we are given to understand is that the judges said that she needs to raise this jurisdiction issue before a trial court, and it's all based on evidence.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the reason why has refused to interfere in this matter, because an investigating agency and an they have the right to continue with an investigation without any strictures from a top court to prejudice them. Keeping a very simple basis in mind, the Supreme Court has said that they are resisting to interfere in this particular plea. It's a big setback to Rana Ayyub, who even tried to move the top.
Right. So Rhythm, in a sense, a setback for Rana Ayyub. We're going to cut across right now to the Parliament to see what's happening there.
At 12 noon today,
Adani के घोटाले से पीड़ित है। कार्रवाई चाहते हैं।
All right, so the Rajya Sabha also over there being adjourned right now. Do remember that the Lok Sabha, just to tell our viewers, was adjourned a short while ago. The Lok Sabha, of course, another record really of sorts, was adjourned within just about 4 minutes of convening. The Rajya Sabha also now being adjourned. Both houses of parliament have been rocked by the opposition not allowing for any business to be transacted over the Hindenburg report on Adani. So the Adani storm, of course, continuing to rock both houses of parliament. Now, the opposition parties, of course, have not allowed business to be transacted in both houses of parliament. They have put forward very clear demands before the government. One of them, of course, is that there should be a JPC that should be found to investigate the allegations that Hindenburg has made against the Adani enterprises. Also, the second part of it is that if the JPC is not formed, they want a court-monitored probe monitored by none other than the Supreme Court in the allegations that have been made. Now, the government, of course, has said that there are proper mechanisms in place that are looking into what the allegations have been from the short seller Hindenburg, and that they are willing to discuss any issue, but they need for the opposition to respect traditions of the both houses of parliament. Also going on to say that they need to be present for the motion of thanks to the president's speech. So that's where the deadlock has been. Today, of course, again, despite several rounds of talks between the opposition parties and the government, we are seeing the storm continuing. Both houses of parliament adjourned at the moment. The Lok Sabha, of course, had barely just convened this morning at about 11, when within 4 minutes or so, it was adjourned once again. The Rajya Sabha also being adjourned very, very quickly. Just to tell our viewers that at this point in time, of course, the opposition has been firm in terms of what it wants. Let's go across to Piyush Mishra, who's been tracking this for us. Piyush, as far as the opposition is concerned, you know, they are continuing to raise this issue in both houses of parliament. But the other side of it also is, Piyush, that, you know, this does not allow for any sort of debate really to take place for, you know, as the opposition says, people of the country want to know. But
पार्टी की केंद्र सरकार तानाशाही से, बेईमानी से
गुंडागर्दी से एमसीडी में सरकार आम आदमी पार्टी की नहीं बनने दे रही।
ये दूसरी बार रहा जब सदन को चलने नहीं दिया गया, वहां पर जो वोटिंग थी उसको पूरा नहीं होने दिया। किस तरीके से देखते हैं? बीजेपी तो ये कह रही है कि आम आदमी पार्टी है वो लगातार हमारे पार्षदों को खरीदने की कोशिश कर रही है।
तो अब भारतीय जनता पार्टी का डर सामने आ रहा है। वो तो कह रहे थे कि आम आदमी पार्टी डर रही है, मगर शायद देश के इतिहास में पहली बार हो रहा है कि दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी पार्टी दुनिया की सबसे छोटी और नई पार्टी से डर गई है कि आम आदमी पार्टी के अंदर उनके पार्षद जाने वाले हैं। ये तो बड़ी शर्म की बात है और इसीलिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी चुनाव नहीं होने दे रही, क्योंकि डर भारतीय जनता पार्टी को है कि उनके पार्षद अपनी पार्टी से नाराज होके कहीं आम आदमी पार्टी में ना आ जाए।
बिल्कुल, आज बीजेपी की तरफ से भी प्रोटेस्ट किया जा रहा है। उनके तरफ से भी लिखा गया है उनके पोस्टर में कि आम आदमी पार्टी मेयर का चुनाव होने नहीं दे रही।
देखिए, ये तो सारे देश ने देखा है, कल के वीडियो सबके पास हैं। भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने दादागिरी की, गुंडागर्दी की, नारेबाजी की, और वो अकेले नारेबाजी कर रहे थे। आम आदमी पार्टी के पार्षद तो आराम से बैठे थे और उन्हीं की प्रिसाइडिंग ऑफिसर ने हाउस को भंग कर दिया। उनके तो सांसद भी नहीं आए थे हाउस में। मैं पूछना चाहता हूं, गौतम गंभीर कहां थे? एक एक वोट की लड़ाई है, गौतम गंभीर नहीं थे, मनोज तिवारी नहीं थे, हंसराज हंस नहीं थे। इसका मतलब क्या है? इसका मतलब पहले से तय था कि आज जो था चुनाव नहीं होना था, इसीलिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी के मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट भी नहीं थे। पूरा षड्यंत्र है और मुझे लगता है कल सुप्रीम कोर्ट में ये सब कुछ एक्सपोज होगा। सारे सबूत हम कोर्ट के सामने रखेंगे।
आप बीजेपी के ऊपर आरोप लगा रहे, बीजेपी ये कह रही है कि आम आदमी पार्टी नहीं चाहती कि मेयर बने, उनको डर है कि कोई उनके बराबर में खड़ा ना हो जाए।
मेयर भारतीय जनता पार्टी जानती है कि आम आदमी पार्टी का बनेगा। उनकी प्रिसाइडिंग ऑफिसर बार बार हाउस भंग कर रही है। उनकी प्रिसाइडिंग ऑफिसर उल्टी उल्टी बातें हाउस के अंदर कह रही है, उसके बावजूद भी आम आदमी के पार्षद नहीं भड़क रहे। अब तो वो डेस्परेट हो गए हैं। ये पूरी दिल्ली को दिख रहा है कि अपनी बेरोजगारी से बचने के लिए, क्योंकि भारतीय जनता पार्टी की दिल्ली इकाई बेरोजगार हो जाएगी, जो पैसे की कमाई होती थी वो बंद हो जाएगी। इस डर से जो है ये चुनाव नहीं हो रहे।
हमारे साथ बात कर रहे थे सौरभ भारद्वाज, जो कि साफ तौर पे कह रहे हैं कि कहीं ना कहीं बीजेपी ये नहीं चाहती है कि मेयर का चुनाव पूरा हो और मेयर चुना जाए। रिपब्लिक भारत के लिए लोमस झा।
Well, protests and counter-protests seem to be taking place in Delhi. This, of course, is over the issue of the election of the mayor. Do remember that it was the third consecutive time that the mayor had to be elected in the MCD house, but that did not take place. So the municipal house, in fact, failed to elect the mayor for the third time in a month after a ruckus erupted over the nominated members being allowed to vote in the election to the post. Now, the Aam Aadmi Party, of course, has threatened to go to court over it, and the BJP has hit the streets in protest. We have seen also the first two sessions of the municipal house that were held, I think, on the 24th of January, and one before that were also adjourned by the presiding officer without electing a mayor. Following the ruckus and the acrimonious exchanges that we have seen taking place between the members of the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party. So that ruckus, in a sense, now taking place outside with protests happening. Let's go across to Anuj to understand what happened today. Anuj, of course, yesterday was a very acrimonious exchange that we saw between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party. Today, of course, protesters hitting the streets.
Well, exactly. This is the attack and the counter-attack what we are seeing in the national capital. It is BJP who is protesting against Aam Aadmi Party, and that's something what...
At this point in time, the BJP Karyakartas has hit the ground and they are protesting against the Aam Aadmi Party, and they are blaming Aam Aadmi Party that this is because of Aam Aadmi Party why the elections are not happening, rather the mayor elections are not happening. We have seen the ruckus yesterday also. It was the third time when mayor election was to happen, but we have seen what has happened in the civic center, what has happened in the house. So the elections did not happen and the house was adjourned. And finally, the Bharatiya Janata Party Karyakartas are on the street. They are protesting at the ITO office of the Aam Aadmi Party. They are saying that this is Aam Aadmi Party who did not want to election to happen, and that's something what we are seeing at this point in time. On the other hand, let me tell you that Aam Aadmi Party, vice versa, is blaming the same. This is attack and the counter attack what we are seeing. So Aam Aadmi Party, on the other hand, is also all set to do the protest against BJP, whereas BJP is protesting Aam Aadmi Party. And that's something, the kind of uproar which was witnessed in the house also. So this is happening on the streets of the national capital. This is to see the matter has already reached the top court, that's the Supreme Court. We will see what exactly is going to come out from there. But on the other hand, these are the Karyakartas of both the parties who are protesting each other and blaming each other. There is a blame game which is happening. We have seen yesterday also this was press conference, and after that the attack, counter attack press conference which was happened. This was Aam Aadmi Party and the Bharatiya Janata Party attack and the counter attack what we are seeing at this point in time. We are reporting live on the story from the ground. Keep watching Republic TV. We will be right back after a short break. Stay tuned. The dramatic visuals we are getting from the Jantar Mantar of the national capital. These are the Karyakartas of Indian Youth Congress, and they have been detained now. As they were protesting over here, they were crossing the barricades at the Jantar Mantar. Now they have been detained.
The Congress workers, there is a scuffle between the Congress workers and the Jammu and Kashmir police. The police has stopped the Congress workers from coming. However, the police has made it amply clear they have been denied the permission to move out from outside the Congress office, but they say that they won't stop, and this is the government's failure. Congress workers are now being detained by the Jammu and Kashmir police.
Earthquake magnitude consisted of 7.4 and it lasted for 40 seconds. A lot of buildings collapsed during first 10 seconds, and situation in southwest east of Turkey complicated by the weather. It is a snowstorm now in the area.
The Congress workers, there is a scuffle between the Congress workers and the Jammu and Kashmir police. However, the police has made it amply clear they have been denied the permission to move out from outside the Congress office, but they say that they won't stop, and this is the government's failure. Despite many clarifications by the union government, the Congress seems to be in no mood of coming into the house, and that's why these massive protests are taking place here in Jammu as well.
The dramatic visuals we are getting from the Jantar Mantar of the national capital. These are the Karyakartas of Indian Youth Congress, and they have been detained now. As they were protesting over here, they were crossing the barricades at the Jantar Mantar. Now they have been detained.
Earthquake magnitude consisted of 7.4 and it lasted for 40 seconds. A lot of buildings collapsed during first 10 seconds, and situation in southwest east of Turkey complicated by the weather. It is a snowstorm now in the area.
The Congress workers, there is a scuffle between the Congress workers and the Jammu and Kashmir police. The police has stopped the Congress workers from coming. However, the police has made it amply clear they have been denied the permission to move out.
News is coming in. We are now learning that Balasaheb Thorat has stepped down as the legislative party leader of the Congress. Now this of course comes even as there were reports of some sort of skirmishes that were going on between him and the state unit president Nana Patole. We are given to understand that he resigned as the Maharashtra legislative party leader in a letter that he's written to Mallikarjun Kharge, the Congress president. Previously also, of course, Balasaheb Thorat have spoken about the fact that he feels humiliated in the manner in which the Congress party is working in Maharashtra. So differences between him and Nana Patole, who is the state unit president, of course, have not been new. They have been there, and the Congress party senior high command has been very aware of them. Nevertheless, a big setback for the Congress party in Maharashtra. We slip into a very short break. On the other side, we bring you more news, including politics that's continuing over the Adani issue as the opposition continues to protest.
Earthquake magnitude consisted of 7.4 and it lasted for 40 seconds. A lot of buildings collapsed during first 10 seconds, and situation in southwest east of Turkey complicated by the weather. It is a snowstorm now in the area.
The Congress workers, there is a scuffle between the Congress workers and the Jammu and Kashmir police. However, the police has made it amply clear they have been denied the permission to move out from outside the Congress office, but they say that they won't stop, and this is the government's failure. Despite many clarifications by the union government, the Congress seems to be in no mood of coming into the house, and that's why these massive protests are taking place here in Jammu as well.
The dramatic visuals we are getting from the Jantar Mantar of the national capital. These are the Karyakartas of Indian Youth Congress, and they have been detained now. As they were protesting over here, they were crossing the barricades at the Jantar Mantar. Now they have been detained.
Earthquake magnitude consisted of 7.4 and it lasted for 40 seconds. A lot of buildings collapsed during first 10 seconds, and situation in southwest east of Turkey complicated by the weather. It is a snowstorm now in the area.
The Congress workers, there is a scuffle between the Congress workers and the Jammu and Kashmir police. The police has stopped the Congress workers from coming. However, the police has made it amply clear they have been denied the permission to move out from outside the Congress office, but they say that they won't stop, and this is the government's failure. Congress workers are now being detained by the Jammu and Kashmir police. The Congress workers, there is a scuffle between the Congress workers and the Jammu and Kashmir police. However, the police has made it amply clear they have been denied the permission to move out from outside the Congress office, but they say that they won't stop, and this is the government's failure. Despite many clarifications by the union government, the Congress seems to be in no mood of coming into the house, and that's why these massive protests are taking place here in Jammu as well.
opposition leaders who are protesting at this point in time. Earlier, this was a scheduled meeting of the opposition leader. They are demanding the discussion on the Adani issue. That is something, the line which has been taken by the opposition leaders. Whereas the government is of the view, government stand is that they want the presidential speech to be happen, and after that, the discussion can happen in the 0 hour.
Thanks for tuning in this Tuesday morning. We are live and breaking. I'm Samiksha Srivastava. We start with the showdown taking place in the national capital, where the Aam Admi Party as well as the BJP are staging a protest against over the Delhi mayor elections. So simultaneously, on one hand, the protest there being staged by the BJP, and on the other hand, the AAP also staging a counter protest outside the BJP office in the national capital. So this is in relation to the Delhi mayor elections. Remember, the election for the Delhi mayor was stalled for the third consecutive time. But those visuals coming in from the national capital at this point, where you can see the AAP workers completely up in arms, staging a protest against the BJP over the elections for the Delhi mayor in the national capital. Remember, the Aam Admi Party has also said that they would be moving the top court over what they say stalling of the procedure for the election of the Delhi mayor. All right, we have our executive editor for politics, Aishwarya Kapoor, joining us. Aishwarya, good morning. If you can take us through what is the latest that you're picking up in terms of the face-off between the BJP and the Aam Admi Party over the Delhi mayor elections.
Well, as far as the face-off between the BJP and the AAP is concerned, this has been an ongoing process and it will continue for a while. The Aam Admi Party says that the BJP has been misusing the power and then using the office of LD to hit back at them. This time around, similar allegations continue. They say that the kind of manipulation which is done by the BJP, and the counter to that, the BJP has said that there is zero manipulation. Only and only Arvind Kejriwal wants to hide behind these allegations and not perform. Whether it is formation of roads, whether it is basic necessity or more complex issues. That has always been the issue. That implementation and permission from the LG's office is something which the Arvind Kejriwal government has not been able to access, and hence all the development projects are being kept in a bin.
Aishwarya, just a follow-up question, if you can help us understand what exactly is the bone of contention here when we talk about the AAP staging a protest against the BJP over the Delhi mayor election. All right, we seem to have lost that connection with Aishwarya Kapoor, but continuously tracking all those updates coming in from the national capital, where you can see protests and counter-protests taking place by the BJP and the Aam Admi Party. All right, tracking the big news break that came in on Monday, the latest that we are given to understand on the earthquake that shattered several parts of Turkey and Syria, where the death toll has now risen to more than 4,000. Latest update we are given to understand is that the first Indian C-17 flight with more than 50 NDRF search and rescue personnel, specially trained dog squads, drilling machines, relief material, medicines and other necessary equipments have reached Turkey. It's the second plane. We're given to understand that the second plane is still getting ready for departure, while the first batch dispatch of the necessary equipments for the for the assistance in terms of for the rescue operation has begun, as India has now sent aid to Turkey which consists of 50 NDRF personnel as well as specially trained dog squads, drilling machines, relief material, medicines and other necessary utilities and equipment as well. We have our senior executive editor Abhishek Kapoor also joining us. Abhishek, if you can take us to the latest. The death toll, of course, unfortunately has risen to 4,000, but the relief and rescue operations still continue as we speak.
Well, yes, that's how it happens in the case of earthquakes of this scale, Samiksha. Remember, the last big earthquake that India has seen was way back in 2001 in Kutch in Gujarat, and that was that was also 7.7, and this is 7.8. But what is different is that the aftershocks that are coming out of the same scale, almost like a 7.6, 7.5, and then the last one being 6. That we saw earlier in the day. That, of course, leads to a lot of loss of life and property. Unfortunately, we are seeing the numbers creeping up. In this case, of the 4,000, 5,000 buildings that have been reduced to rubble, we are seeing about 10% of them are high-rises, which are classified as ground plus 3. So I think, in that sense, significant loss. We are looking at significant loss both in Turkey and Syria. But India, of course, up on its feet. We saw how Prime Minister, in the first couple of hours itself, made a statement that we stand with our brothers and sisters in these affected regions, and we are going to send in aid. And now we are seeing relief and rescue material flying out of the Indian Air Base, the pictures of which we have seen panning out since morning. In fact, the Turkish ambassador has been quick to thank the Indian effort. We saw how our MOS in the Ministry of External Affairs was quick to go to the embassy and meet with the Turkish ambassador. We saw V. Muralidharan going to the embassy of Turkey in New Delhi and convey condolences and underscore the readiness that we are ready to send relief material. And now we are seeing, of course, the relief material that has now, in fact, landed in Turkey as we speak, because this was an overnight flight, a C-17 Globemaster, taking about 50 NDRF search and rescue personnel, and the dog squad, the canine squad that we have been talking about, plays a crucial role in sniffing out whatever survivors might be there and pull them out, help them pull them out from the debris. Drilling machines, relief material. Post-Gujarat earthquake, India has developed a certain expertise in terms of, and of course, after the 2006-2005 tsunami down south, India has developed a certain expertise in terms of handling of these kind of relief and rescue missions when it comes to natural calamities and disasters of this scale. So this is only the beginning, as has been suggested, that second thing is already getting ready. That's from the tweet of Dr. S. Jaishankar, and he has said that apart from solidarity in this challenging moment, we are going to continue to assist our citizens of Turkey and Syria in this hour of tragedy that has struck these nations.
All right, Abhishek, thank you for taking us through all those details. So as Abhishek was telling us, the rescue relief operations are still underway as we speak. The first batch of the help assistance that's been rendered by India has arrived. It's the first Indian C-17 flight that has reached Turkey, carrying all the necessary equipments to provide all the essential help to Turkey.
3, 2, 1, lift off.
SpaceX successfully launched the Hispasat Amazonas Nexus mission satellite on Monday evening. This after the satellite launch was delayed on Sunday because of inclement weather. The satellite was launched at 8:32 p.m. from the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida on Monday. In a matter of 8 minutes after liftoff, the Falcon 9's first stage landed on a drone ship in the Atlantic Ocean. It will provide a coverage for North America, the North and South Atlantic corridors, and the Greenland. According to Hispasat, a communication company based in Spain, the rocket reached a speed exceeding 16,757 miles per hour while at an altitude of more than 104 miles before the start of the second stage engine. Also on board is a high bandwidth protected communication transponder for the US Space Force. Agency report, Republic TV.
The dramatic visuals we are getting from the Jantar Mantar of the national capital. These are the Karyakartas of Indian Youth Congress, and they have been detained now. As they were protesting over here, they were crossing the barricades at the Jantar Mantar. Now they have been detained.
Earthquake magnitude consisted of 7.4 and it lasted for 40 seconds. A lot of buildings collapsed during first 10 seconds, and situation in southwest east of Turkey complicated by the weather. It is a snowstorm now in the area.
The Congress workers, there is a scuffle between the Congress workers and the Jammu and Kashmir police. The police has stopped the Congress workers from coming. However, the police has made it amply clear they have been denied the permission to move out from outside the Congress office, but they say that they won't stop, and this is the government's failure. Congress workers are now being detained by the Jammu and Kashmir police. The Congress workers, there is a scuffle between the Congress workers and the Jammu and Kashmir police. However, the police has made it amply clear they have been denied the permission to move out from outside the Congress office, but they say that they won't stop, and this is the government's failure. Despite many clarifications by the union government, the Congress seems to be in no mood of coming into the house, and that's why these massive protests are taking place here in Jammu as well.
Opposition leaders who are protesting at this point in time. Earlier, this was a scheduled meeting of the opposition leader. They are demanding the discussion on the Adani issue. That is something, the line which has been taken by the opposition leaders. Whereas the government is of the view, government stand is that they want the presidential speech to be happen, and after that, the discussion can happen in the 0 hour. The dramatic visuals we are getting from the Jantar Mantar of the national capital. These are the Karyakartas of Indian Youth Congress, and they have been detained now. As they were protesting over here, they were crossing the barricades at the Jantar Mantar. Now they have been detained.
The Congress workers, there is a scuffle between the Congress workers and the Jammu and Kashmir police. The police has stopped the Congress workers from coming. However, the police has made it amply clear they have been denied the permission to move out from outside the Congress office, but they say that they won't stop, and this is the government's failure. Congress workers are now being detained by the Jammu and Kashmir police.
Earthquake magnitude consisted of 7.4 and it lasted for 40 seconds. A lot of buildings collapsed during first 10 seconds, and situation in southwest east of Turkey complicated by the weather. It is a snowstorm now in the area.
The Congress workers, there is a scuffle between the Congress workers and the Jammu and Kashmir police. However, the police has made it amply clear they have been denied the permission to move out from outside the Congress office, but they say that they won't stop, and this is the government's failure. Despite many clarifications by the union government, the Congress seems to be in no mood of coming into the house.
ये रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन किया जाएगा जिसमें हमारी भी टीम शामिल होगी।
एक सवाल ये सर कि डॉग स्क्वाड भी इसमें हिस्सा ले रहा है, वो कितने मददगार साबित होंगे इस रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन में?
डॉग्स की स्पेशल ट्रेनिंग की जाती है, जो डेब्रिस होता है, कैविटीज़ होती हैं जहां पर हम आसानी से नहीं पहुंच सकते हैं, वो वहां पर जो है इंडिकेट करते हैं विक्टिम्स को, और इसमें हमारा जो कार्य होता है वो आसान हो जाता है।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमसे बात करने के लिए। विथ पीयूष मिश्रा इन दिल्ली फॉर रिपब्लिक टीवी।
All right, so the NDRF DIG speaking to Republic and telling us about the rescue relief operations taking place in Turkey and of course the help there being rendered by India. Remember the visuals there on your screens is the first Indian C-17 flight with more than 50 NDRF search and rescue personnel along with specially trained dog squads, drilling machines, relief material that has reached Turkey. The second plane is yet to depart for Turkey. But yes, the rescue relief operations have been expedited. A mammoth task there for the Turkey government, the world, the global leaders, several of the countries coming together to render all possible help to Turkey. At this point, 4,000 people have lost their lives so far due to the deadly earthquake that rocked Turkey and Syria. Remember, Turkey was hit by 3 consecutive devastating earthquakes of magnitude 7.8, 7.6 and 6. Meanwhile, a team of NDRF personnel with specially trained dog squads along with necessary equipment has reached Turkey. And this, of course, in the backdrop of the relief rescue operations which are still underway to find those people who are still said to be missing, hundreds and thousands of them who are still feared to be trapped in the debris of the buildings.
DRF DIG Mohsin Shahidi, sir, thank you for speaking to us. What is the current update and when did this team reach there, sir?
See, as we all know, 7.8 magnitude earthquake took place yesterday in southern Turkey, due to which massive casualties have taken place. There were aftershocks, a lot of displacement is there. And seeing this grim situation, the government of India has ordered deployment of 2 teams of NDRF. They are especially trained in the urban and search and rescue operations. 101 strong contingent is being moved. One contingent of 51 persons have already landed there in Turkey. They flew off at 3 o'clock this morning. They are well equipped with canines, state-of-the-art equipments, and we have also Mahila rescuers in the team.
Women rescuers are also there, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, also wanted to know how equipped our personnel are, because we have to ascertain also the situation there. What is current situation there in Turkey? How equipped are they?
We are well equipped and trained to undertake search and rescue operations in the most difficult situations. The government of India has authorized us 315 state-of-the-art equipments. These include detection and location equipments, extrication tools, power tools, and all other paraphernalia which is required to conduct operation in a professional manner.
Has dog squad also taken part in this operation?
Yes, we have 4 canines which are part of the team.
Part of the team. How helpful they would be, sir?
They would be very helpful. The dogs are especially trained to, undertake these operations, move in the cavities and the debris and the rubble, and they are very useful for us.
Sir, also, have you been able to ascertain the current situation there in Turkey?
Our team has just landed, in fact, and they are undertaking appreciation. They will be getting a briefing shortly from the RDC there, which is stationed there, and after that they will be able to undertake the operation.
सर, हिंदी में हमारे दर्शकों के लिए पहली टीम जो एनडीआरएफ की वहाँ पहुँच चुकी है, क्या अपडेट है आपकी? कोई बात हुई वहाँ पर्सनल से?
हमारे पर्सनल वहाँ पहुँच चुके हैं और अभी अप्रिसिएशन किया जा रहा है. लोकल अथॉरिटीज जो हैं वो टीम की ब्रीफिंग कर रहे हैं, उसके बाद उनकी तैनाती की जाएगी.
All right, we'll leave it at that. And as we speak, the relief rescue operations continue at a war footing mode. Remember, the death toll has already risen to more than 4,000 people. So more than 4,000 people who have lost their lives in that earthquake that rocked not just Turkey but Syria as well. Hundreds and thousands of those people who are still said to be missing, still feared trapped in the debris. We'll continue to get you all the latest from Turkey and Syria. Slipping into a very short break for now. Amazon removes book Modi and Me from platform, cites Hindutva-themed literature as a reason. Miffed over the possibility of losing hosting a Asia Cup rights, Pak cricketer lashes out at India.
The Congress workers, there is a scuffle between the Congress workers and the Jammu and Kashmir police. The police has stopped the Congress workers from coming. However, the police has made it amply clear they have been denied the permission to move out from outside the Congress office, but they say that they won't stop and this is the government's failure. Congress workers are now being detained by the Jammu and Kashmir police. Congress workers, there is a scuffle between the Congress workers and the Jammu and Kashmir police. However, the police has made it amply clear they have been denied the permission to move out from outside the Congress office, but they say that they won't stop and this is the government's failure. Despite many clarifications by the union government, the Congress seems to be in no mood of coming into the house, and that's why these massive protests are taking place here in Jammu as well.
Opposition leaders who are protesting at this point in time. Earlier, this was a scheduled meeting of the opposition leader. They are demanding the discussion on the Adani issue. That is something, the line which has been taken by the opposition leaders. Whereas the government is of the view, government stand is that they want the presidential speech to be happen, and after that, the discussion can happen in the 0 hour. The dramatic visuals we are getting from the Jantar Mantar of the national capital. These are the Karyakartas of Indian Youth Congress, and they have been detained now. As they were protesting over here, they were crossing the barricades at the Jantar Mantar. Now they have been detained.
The Congress workers, there is a scuffle between the Congress workers and the Jammu and Kashmir police. The police has stopped the Congress workers from coming. However, the police has made it amply clear they have been denied the permission to move out from outside the Congress office, but they say that they won't stop and this is the government's failure. Congress workers are now being detained by the Jammu and Kashmir police.
Earthquake magnitude consisted of 7.4 and it lasted for 40 seconds. A lot of buildings collapsed during first 10 seconds, and situation in southwest east of Turkey complicated by the weather. It is a snowstorm now in the area.
The Congress workers, there is a scuffle between the Congress workers and the Jammu and Kashmir police. However, the police has made it amply clear they have been denied the permission to move out from outside the Congress office, but they say that they won't stop and this is the government's failure. Despite many clarifications by the union government, the Congress seems to be in no mood of coming into the house, and that's why these massive protests are taking place here in Jammu as well.
A quick roundup of news from the world of sports. Wrestlers Vinesh Phogat and Sakshi Malik, who recently staged a protest against the WFI chief and accused him of sexual exploitation and intimidation, were among 5 athletes nominated for the Indian Sportswoman of the Year award. Others who made the cut were Tokyo Olympics silver medalist weightlifter Mirabai Chanu, ace shuttler PV Sindhu and boxer Nikhat Zareen. Former captain Ian Chappell feels Rishabh Pant's presence would have given him sleepless nights to Australian captain Pat Cummins, but even that, then India would start firm from favourites in the upcoming 4-match test series beginning on Thursday. Australia T20 international captain Aaron Finch has called time on his stunning international career that included leading Australia to their first ICC Men's T20 World Cup trophy. Weightlifters on the first day of their competition on day 8 of Khelo India Youth Games for this year in MP created 2 national youth records and 1 Khelo India Youth Games record, even as Maharashtra continued to their surge at the top of the medal tally. The first ever season of Women's Premier League would be played starting 4th of March onwards, with the final scheduled for 26th of March. The football powerhouse state of Manipur would host its first official international matches starting next month in the Tri-Nation Friendly Tournament involving Myanmar and Kyrgyzstan, besides the Indian teams at the stadium. Meanwhile, Essex County Cricket Club has re-signed Australian all-rounders Daniel Sams for the 2023 T20 Blast competition. A statement that read from the club said that Essex Cricket is delighted to announce that Daniel Sams has rejoined the club for the 2023 T20 Blast campaign. Slipping into a very short break, but on the other side, we'll get you the latest from the national capital as the opposition remains up in arms, staging a protest at the Gandhi statue over the Adani matter.
The Congress workers, there is a scuffle between the Congress workers and the Jammu and Kashmir police. However, the police has made it amply clear they have been denied the permission to move out from outside the Congress office, but they say that they won't stop and this is the government's failure. Despite many clarifications by the union government, the Congress seems to be in no mood of coming into the house, and that's why these massive protests are taking place here in Jammu as well.
Opposition leaders who are protesting at this point in time. Earlier, this was a scheduled meeting of the opposition leader. They are demanding the discussion on the Adani issue. That is something, the line which has been taken by the opposition leaders. Whereas the government is of the view, government stand is that they want the presidential speech to be happen, and after that, the discussion can happen in the 0 hour. The dramatic visuals we are getting from the Jantar Mantar of the national capital. These are the Karyakartas of Indian Youth Congress, and they have been detained now. As they were protesting over here, they were crossing the barricades at the Jantar Mantar. Now they have been detained.
The Congress workers, there is a scuffle between the Congress workers and the Jammu and Kashmir police. The police has stopped the Congress workers from coming. However, the police has made it amply clear they have been denied the permission to move out from outside the Congress office, but they say that they won't stop and this is the government's failure. Congress workers are now being detained by the Jammu and Kashmir police.
Earthquake magnitude consisted of 7.4 and it lasted for 40 seconds. A lot of buildings collapsed during first 10 seconds, and situation in southwest east of Turkey complicated by the weather. It is a snowstorm now in the area.
The Congress workers, there is a scuffle between the Congress workers and the Jammu and Kashmir police. However, the police has made it amply clear they have been denied the permission to move out from outside the Congress office, but they say that they won't stop and this is the government's failure. Despite many clarifications by the union government, the Congress seems to be in no mood of coming into the house, and that's why these massive protests are taking place here in Jammu as well.
The dramatic visuals we are getting from the Jantar Mantar of the national capital. These are the Karyakartas of Indian Youth Congress, and they have been detained now. As they were protesting over here, they were crossing the barricades at the Jantar Mantar. Now they have been detained.
Earthquake magnitude consisted of 7.4 and it lasted for 40 seconds. A lot of buildings collapsed during first 10 seconds, and situation in southwest east of Turkey complicated by the weather. It is a snowstorm now in the area.
The Congress workers, there is a scuffle between the Congress workers and the Jammu and Kashmir police. The police has stopped the Congress workers from coming. However, the police has made it amply clear they have been denied the permission to move out from.
The attempt to tarnish Judge Gauri's image fails. The top court dismisses petitions. Face off over mayoral elections, the BJP takes to the streets. Aam Aadmi Party stages a counter protest. The Adani storm wanes, but opposition stages another protest, holds proceedings for a second time. Amazon removes the book Modi and Me from platform, cites Hindutva themed literature as the reason.
मैं तो पहले भी कहते थे नहीं आज तो भाड़ में जाए, हमें कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, हमें हमारी क्रिकेट मिल रही है। राइट, ये आईसीसी का काम है।
Miffed over the possibility of losing hosting Asia Cup rights, Pakistani cricketer Javed Miandad lashes out. The death toll mounts to more than 400 people dead in Turkey and Syria. India sends humanitarian aid. Good afternoon. You're watching live and breaking on Republic TV. I'm Nupur Talwar Suri. We go straight across to news that we are getting from Assam over the crackdown on child marriage. Now, even as the Assam government continues with its crackdown on child marriage, we are told that the AIUDF is politicizing the issue. Badruddin Ajmal has now alleged that there is a religious discrimination that's taking place, and also calling the move of the crackdown on child marriage in Assam as something that is meant to harass Muslims. Now, this is, of course, is not the first time that this has happened. We have, since the crackdown began, seen statements like this come out. Let's listen into what he said.
लास्ट 3 मंथ से कंटिन्यूसली हर प्रोग्राम में ये बोल रहा हूँ कि 18 साल से नीचे की बच्चियों को शादी नहीं कराना चाहिए। इसके बारे में कम से कम 3 महीना पहले से ही गवर्नमेंट भी मेरा साथ देती। गवर्नमेंट खुद चीफ मिनिस्टर सामने आते, वार्निंग देते कि भाई हम आप लोग को 3 महीने का और टाइम देते हैं, इस बीच में इसके बाद अगर कोई करेगा तो हम उसको पकड़ेंगे। तो गवर्नमेंट को क्या होता है, हमारे चीफ मिनिस्टर साहब को एक तो मीडिया में आने का बहुत शौक है। नेशनल मीडिया में अभी ये आपका रिपब्लिक ये टीवी पे जाएगा, उनका बजा रहे, पूरे इंडिया के मीडिया ने बजा दिया, उनका चेहरा दिखा दिया। खूबसूरत चेहरा है, नौजवान है, लोग उनको बहुत पसंद करते हैं, उनको मोदी जी भी पसंद करते हैं उनको।
मुझे कुछ विषयों पर स्थगन प्रस्ताव की सूचनाएं प्राप्त हुई है। मैंने स्थगन प्रस्ताव की किसी सूचना के लिए अनुमति प्रदान नहीं की गई है। सभा पटल पर रखे जाने वाले पत्र आइटम नंबर 2 साध्वी निरंजन ज्योति।
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं अपने वरिष्ठ सहयोगी श्री गिरिराज सिंह ग्रामीण विकास मंत्री श्री की ओर से आज की संशोधित कार्यसूची में क्रम संख्या 2 पर उनके नाम के सामने उल्लिखित ग्रामीण विकास मंत्रालय की वर्ष 2023-24 की अनुदान मांगों की प्रस्तुति, विस्तृत मांगों की हिंदी तथा अंग्रेजी की एक प्रति सदन के पटल पर प्रस्तुत करती हूँ।
आइटम नंबर 3 श्री अर्जुन राम मेघवाल।
Honorable Speaker, sir, with your kind permission, I rise to lay the papers on the table of the House mentioned against my name at serial number 3 in the today's revised list of the business of Lok Sabha. Thank you.
Item number 4, Sri Krishnapal.
आदरणीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, आपके अनुमति से आज की संशोधित कार्यसूची में क्रम संख्या 4 पर मेरे नाम के सामने सूचीबद्ध दस्तावेजों को सदन के पटल पर।
आइटम नंबर 5 साध्वी निरंजन ज्योति।
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं आज की संशोधित कार्यसूची में क्रम संख्या 5 पर मेरे नाम के सामने उल्लिखित दस्तावेज सदन के पटल पर प्रस्तुत करती हूँ।
आइटम नंबर 6 संजीव कुमार बलियान। माननीय मंत्री जी को बताया करो कि वह सभा पटल पर रखना है। संजीव कुमार बलियान नो उपस्थित। अर्जुन मेघवाल जी।
धन्यवाद अध्यक्ष जी। मैं आपकी अनुमति से आज की लोकसभा की आज की कार्यसूची के क्रम संख्या 6 पर जो संजीव कुमार बालियान जी के नाम के आगे अंकित दस्तावेज है वो आपकी अनुमति से सदन के पटल पर रखता हूं। थैंक यू।
आइटम नंबर 7 श्री नित्यानंद राय।
महोदय, मैं आप आज की पुनरीक्षित कार्यसूची में क्रम संख्या 7 पर मेरे नाम के सम्मुख उल्लेखित दस्तावेज पटल पे रखता हूं।
आइटम नंबर 8 सुश्री शोभा कारंदजे।
Second, sir, I lay the papers shown at serial number 8 of the revised list of business in the Lok Sabha for today on the table of the House.
आइटम नंबर 9 श्री कैलाश चौधरी।
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय जी, आपकी अनुमति से मैं आज की लोकसभा की संशोधित कार्यसूची में मेरे नाम के सम्मुख मत संख्या 9 पर उल्लेखित पत्र सभा पटल पर प्रस्तुत करता हूं।
आइटम नंबर 10 श्री ए नारायण स्वामी।
Speaker sir, with your kind permission, I lay the papers on the table of the House as mentioned against my name or the serial number 10 of today's revised list of business, both Hindi and English revised version.
आइटम नंबर 12 श्री ए नारायण स्वामी।
With your kind permission, I lay the papers of the table of the House mentioned serial number 12 of the today's revised list of business against the name of my colleague Sushri Pratima Bhumika, Minister of State for Social Justice and Empowerment, sir.
आइटम नंबर 11 श्री अजय कुमार।
अध्यक्ष जी, मैं आपकी अनुमति से आज की पुनरीक्षित कार्यसूची में क्रम संख्या 11 पर मेरे नाम के सम्मुख उल्लेखित दस्तावेज सभा पटल पर रखता हूं।
आइटम नंबर 13 श्री डॉक्टर एल मुरुगन।
Rise to lay on the table of the House the papers regarding Department of Information Broadcasting mentioned again my name at serial number 13 of today's revised list of business. Thank you, sir.
आइटम नंबर 40 श्री निशित प्रमाणिक। माननीय मंत्री महोदय, आप कोई भी माननीय मंत्री महोदय अगर सदन पटल पर पत्र रखने यहाँ उपस्थित नहीं है तो आप व्यवस्था की दृष्टि से हमें लिख के दे कि उसको ये उचित नहीं है। आइटम नंबर अर्जुन मेघवाल जी।
धन्यवाद अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं आपकी अनुमति से क्रम संख्या 14 पर अंकित दस्तावेज जो नीतीश प्रमाणिक के नाम के आगे अंकित है मैं आपके अनुमति से सदन के पटल पर रखता हूं। धन्यवाद।
आइटम नंबर 15 श्री पर्वत भाई पटेल।
अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं आज की कार्यसूची में मेरे नाम के सन्मुख क्रम संख्या 15 पर यथा सूचीबद्ध जल संसाधन संबंधी स्थायी समिति की आगे की कार्रवाई के वक्तव्य के हिंदी और अंग्रेजी संस्करण को सभा पटल पर रखता हूं।
आइटम नंबर 60 श्री जयंत कुमार राय।
Honorable Speaker, sir, I rise to lay on the table the 366th, 367th, 368th, 369th, 367th, 371st and 372nd reports of Hindi and English versions on action taken by the government on the recommendations or observations contained in the 358th to 364th reports of the Department related Parliamentary Standing Committee on Science and Technology, Environment, Forest and Climate Change on the demands for grants 2022-23 of the ministries or departments of atomic energy, biotechnology, scientific and industrial research, science and technology, space, environment, forest and climate change, and earth sciences respectively as listed against my name at serial number 16 in today's order paper. Thank you, sir.
आइटम नंबर 17 डॉक्टर वीरेंद्र कुमार।
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, आपकी अनुमति से मैं मेरे सीरियल क्रमांक 17 पर मेरे नाम के आगे उल्लेखित मैट्रिक छात्रवृत्ति स्कीम में परिवर्तन के संबंध में दिनांक 20/12/2022 को लोकसभा में दिए गए तारांकित प्रश्न संख्या 181 के उत्तर में संशोधन से संबंधित विवरण सभापटल पर रखकर इसे ठीक करने का प्रस्ताव करता हूं।
आइटम नंबर 18 श्री कैलाश चौधरी जी।
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय जी, मैं प्रस्ताव करता हूं कि नारियल विकास बोर्ड के नियम 1981 के नियम 4 के साथ गठित नारियल विकास बोर्ड अधिनियम 1989 की धारा 4 की उप धारा 4 के खंड ड के अनुसरण में इस सभा के सदस्य ऐसी रीति से जैसा कि अध्यक्ष निर्देश दे उक्त अधिनियम के अन्य उपबंधों तथा उनके अधीन बनाए गए नियमों के अधीन नारियल विकास बोर्ड के सदस्यों के रूप में कार्य करने के लिए अपने में से 2 सदस्य निर्वाचित करें।
प्रश्न ये माननीय मंत्री।
कांग्रेस की विचारधारा को आगे ले जाकर कांग्रेस को विचारधारा को जिताना है पब्लिक में, वो काम मैं कर रहा हूँ। और मुझे कौन क्या राजकारण कर रहा है ये राजकारण में मुझे नहीं पढ़ना है। मैं एक आम आदमी हूँ, मैं किसान हूँ और सामान्य आदमी हूँ, और इसलिए मुझे ये सब राजनीति में नहीं पढ़ने का है। मैं सरलता से इस राजनीति में आया हूँ। लेकिन मैं आपको ये अच्छा सवाल किया आपने कि मुझे बहुत सारी चीज़ें राजनीति की सीखने मिली ये पदवीधर चुनाव के बाद, और ये सब चुनाव में मुझे बहुत सारा सीखने मिला। जो राजनीति मुझे आज तक मैंने नहीं किया था वो राजनीति मुझे सीखने मिली। लेकिन मैं इस तरह की गंदी राजनीति कभी नहीं करूँगा।
कांग्रेस महाराष्ट्र में 2 गुटों में बट गई है क्या, क्या बताएंगे अभी?
आपने कल देखा होगा कि अशोक चौहान जी, सुशील कुमार शिंदे जी और पृथ्वीराज चौहान साहब, ये सब मेरे साथ फॉर्म भरने के लिए थे। अब तुम कौन सा गुट कर रहे हो, क्या कर रहे हो, मीडिया गुट कर रहा है कि बीजेपी गुट कर रहा है, मुझे पता नहीं।
बाला साहब थोरात
अरे बाला साहब की तबीयत ठीक नहीं है
सर। बाला साहब थोरात को मनाने की कोशिश करेंगे क्या, उनसे संवाद करेंगे, जो उनकी नाराजगी दूर करने के लिए बैठक कब बुला रहे हैं?
हाँ बिल्कुल, मैंने कहा कल भी कि वो हमारे नेता है और हमारे मैं खुद विधायक हूँ और वो हमारे विधिमंडल के हमारे नेता है, और वो नेताओं का अगर कुछ गलतफहमी हो तो उनसे बात करने को भी हमको कोई तकलीफ नहीं है। और इसलिए 15 तारीख को कार्यकारिणी की बैठक हमने बुलाई है, और उसमें ये जो है वो कार्यकारिणी का इशू नहीं है, ये जो तुम लोग उसको हवा बना रहे हो। कार्यकारिणी का इशू हमारा ये इलेक्शन जो है उसमें हमारे पूरे विधायक को हम उसमें जवाबदारी देने वाले हैं। आने वाली पूरे आगे जो स्थानिक स्वराज्य संस्था के चुनाव आ रहे हैं उसके बारे में चर्चा होने वाली है। राहुल जी की पदयात्रा में जो भारत यात्री महाराष्ट्र से चले थे उनका सत्कार है, हमारे जो 2 विधायक चुन के आए हैं उनका सत्कार है, और ऐसा एक कार्यक्रम हमने रखा है और उसमें ये सब चीज़ों पे चर्चा हो।
तुमच्या नेतृत्वात 2 विधान परिषद जे आहे,
देखो वो तो किसी को भी क्लीन चिट दे सकते। यहाँ पे भी महाराष्ट्र में भी जब भी मंत्रिमंडल में जब फडणवीस की सरकार थी तो फडणवीस के मंत्री जब भ्रष्टाचार में लटकते थे तो फडणवीस विधानसभा में ही उनको क्लीन चिट दे देते थे। वैसे ये भी क्लीन चिट दे रहे, लेकिन बात करने को तैयार क्यों नहीं है? अपोजिशन से बात करना चाहिए, जनता को सच बताना चाहिए, चर्चा से क्यों सरकार भाग रही है, ये सवाल हमारा है।
राहुल गांधी तो 2 विधान परिषद के नेतृत्व।
This was Nana Patole over there speaking about what had happened earlier. Do remember that Balasaheb Thorat had resigned from the post of the Maharashtra Congress Legislative Party leader earlier this morning. Now, he sent his resignation to Mallikarjun Kharge. There have been frictions that have been there for a while within the unit of the Maharashtra Congress Party. Just yesterday, of course, he had conveyed to the party's central leadership that he cannot work with the Maharashtra Congress President Nana Patole due to his anger towards him. Alisha is joining us right now. Alisha, good afternoon. Alisha, the turn of events to this afternoon, of course, is not surprising because we do know that there has been a bit of a friction between these 2 top leaders of the Congress for a while now. But this, essentially taking a bigger turn today.
Of course, and even would say think that this is not the first Congress leader, and specifically when it comes to the Balasaheb Thorat, who is a very senior Congress leader, who steps down as the post that has been given to him as a Congress leader from the Maharashtra Congress Legislative Party leader. But we have been seeing even earlier in the name of Nana Patole, there were other Congress leaders who have resigned from the party or from the post. Specifically the anger towards him, and this is what has also been mentioned in a letter that has been given by Balasaheb Thorat to Mallikarjun Kharge, who is the Congress chief, clearly mentioning that he cannot work with the Maharashtra Congress President Nana Patole due to his anger towards him. Not only this, but sources has also claimed that he is very much firm on his stand and is unlikely to take back his decision, is what we have been told. But it is on the higher authority to decide whether to accept the resignation of the party post that has been given to Mahasab Thorat. It is up to Mallikarjun Kharge. But yes, unhappily within the party, the tussle over the party, it can be clearly seen over this, even in the letter, and specifically when it comes to Nana Pakole, who is the Maharashtra Party Congress chief. And here also we are getting the reactions from Nana
Yes,
Pakole.
Alicia, as you're pointing out, obviously things will need to be sorted out if the Congress hopes to pose a united front. Thank you very much for joining us. In fact, we're getting more breaking news and we're cutting across to that now. Well, the Mumbai police and other agencies have been put on alert at the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport in Mumbai. This is after a threat call was received. The caller has introduced himself as someone who belongs to the Indian Mujahideen. Alicia has more details on this as well. Yes, Alicia, tell us more. All right. We are going to go across to Alicia in just a bit, but what we know so far is that Mumbai has been put on high alert after there was a threat call that was received concerning the Chhatrapati Shivaji International Airport. There was a caller who said that he belonged to the Indian Mujahideen and that there was a threat at the airport. Let's go across to Alicia. Alicia, tell us.
No, it's of Mumbai police and the other agency that has been put on alert at the airport, which is the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport, which received a threat call in the name of a terrorist organization named Indian Mujahideen. And this has been said that the threat call was received in the morning. I beg my pardon, it was a late night on Monday, that was at 10 p.m. And the caller identified himself as Irfan Ahmad Sheikh and described himself as a member of a terrorist organization Indian Mujahideen. After this information, where the Mumbai police is on alert, they have been gathering all those information, specifically the call that was made to the airport. Not only this, but the other agencies of the airport were also alerted, and the case has already been registered under section 5051 of the IPC at the Sahar police station.
All right. So the police, of course, are investigating what's behind this threat call. But Alicia, in the past month or so, there have been an increase in these sort of threat calls targeting Mumbai.
Well, yes, we have been witnessing that there are several calls that has been made, whether to the airport or whether to the Mumbai police control room, over the threat, and specifically the caller mention his name and give the identity of an organization belongs to Indian Mujahideen or LT. But here is the Mumbai police, and we even heard Mumbai Police Commissioner Vivek Pansarkar clearly mentioning that Mumbai city is safe and the police is being on alert, and also they've been investigating over the call that has been made to the different places in Mumbai over the time that has been given. But now this is the call that was made to Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport, and the call that was made last night at around 10 p.m. After which not only Mumbai police, the case has been registered at Sahar police station, but the other agencies has also been alerted on the same.
All right, Alicia Nair reporting on that. Thank you for joining us. And here's a quick look at what else is making news from across the world this afternoon. The death toll in the Turkey-Syria earthquake has now reached more than 4,000 after earthquakes jolted the two nations Monday. The total number of injured in the earthquakes has now reached 15,914. Search and rescue operations are still continuing. Drone footage captured in the city of Adani, of Adana, Turkey, showed dozens of rescue workers scrambling over the wreckage of collapsed buildings looking for survivors after the powerful earthquake raked southeastern Turkey and northern Syria. The US has expressed its deepest condolences to the people of Turkey and Syria following the earthquakes that jolted the two nations Monday. Addressing a press briefing on the 6th of February, the US Secretary of the US State Department spokesperson Ned Price said that the initial assistance response is already underway.
चमक रहा है आसमान में सितारा। आज के दिन आओ मिलकर करें दुआ कि बुलंदी पर लहराता रहे तिरंगा हमारा, बुलंदी पर लहराता रहे तिरंगा हमारा। आजादी के इस अमृत काल में हजारों वर्षों के गौरवशाली अतीत का गर्व जुड़ा है। भारतीय स्वतंत्रता संग्राम की प्रेरणाएं जुड़ी है, भारत के स्वर्णिम भविष्य के संकल्प जुड़े हैं। देश आज विश्व गुरु बनने की राह पर है, तो इस सौभाग्य हमें प्रदान किया है देश के यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री आदरणीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने। आपने कई बातें कही, कई प्रकार के जुमले भी आप लोग बोलते हैं, लेकिन फिर भी मौन रहकर जो कर्म करता है होकर मौन, तू बता उससे जीत सकता है कौन। जो लाक्षागृह में जलते हैं वही शूरमा निकलते हैं, और कितनी ही बातें करने, अनर्गल बातें करने के बावजूद भी इस राष्ट्र के लिए चरैवती के सिद्धांत को लेकर तब कहा जाता है अमृत काल का 25 वर्ष का कालखंड, स्वतंत्रता के स्वर्णिम शताब्दी का और भारत विकसित भारत के निर्माण का कालखंड है। ये 25 वर्ष हम सब के लिए और देश के प्रत्येक नागरिकों के लिए कर्तव्यों की पराकाष्ठा करने का है। देश के यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री जी ने लाल किले की प्राचीर से अमृत काल के पंच प्रण के संकल्प का आह्वान किया, जो देश की आजादी के 100 वर्ष पूरे होने पर देश की स्थिति के दिशा दर्शक तत्व होंगे। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा 2047 में देश की आजादी के 100 वर्ष पूरे हो जाएंगे। इस पंच प्रण को स्वर्णिम काल में हमें पूरा करना है। एक ऐसा संकल्प, विकसित भारत का संकल्प, गुलामी से मुक्ति का संकल्प, विरासत पर गर्व करने का संकल्प, एकता और एकजुटता का संकल्प, नागरिकों की कर्तव्यता का संकल्प। माननीय राष्ट्रपति महोदया ने अपने अभिभाषण में भविष्य के भारत की कामना की है। आने वाले समय का भारत कैसा होगा? एक ऐसा भारत जो आत्मनिर्भर हो, अपने मानवीय दायित्वों को पूरा करने वाला भारत हो। एक ऐसा भारत जिसमें गरीबी ना हो, जिसका मध्यम वर्ग भी वैभव से युक्त हो। एक ऐसा भारत जिसकी युवा शक्ति, नारी शक्ति, समाज और राष्ट्र को दिशा देने वाला भारत हो, जिसमें युवा सबसे 2 कदम आगे चलने वाले हो। एक ऐसा भारत जिसकी विविधता और अधिक उज्जवल हो, जिसकी एकता और अधिक अटल हो। माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय जी, 2047 तक के लिए देश के भविष्य और आने वाली पीढ़ियों को हितों को ध्यान में रखकर मेरी सरकार ने बेहतर काम करने का काम शुरू किया। हमने माननीय अध्यक्ष जी 2014 में जब हमारी देश में सरकार बनी तो पूरे देश के लोगों ने देखा है भ्रष्टाचार और आतंकवाद का बोलबाला था, भ्रष्टाचार और आतंकवाद का बोलबाला था। तब दुनिया के देश के लोगों में एक आशा भरी नजरों से देख रहा था। दादा आपसे खड़ा कोई वरिष्ठ नहीं है, बिराजी आप। 2014 में देश में आतंकवाद, देश में भ्रष्टाचार की आग जल रही थी। तब देश के लोगों ने सोचा गुजरात मॉडल को देखकर कि देश में नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में ये देश उन्नति कर सकता है, प्रगति कर सकता है, भ्रष्टाचार को समाप्त कर सकता है, दुनिया में भारत माता का वैभव बढ़ा सकता है। तब देश के करोड़ों करोड़ लोगों ने एक व्यक्ति के नाम पर, एक विचार के नाम पर, एक लंबे अरसे के बाद पूर्ण बहुमत की सरकार दी। तब देश के प्रधानमंत्री जी ने एक वाक्य कहा, सबका साथ सबका विकास। जब 2019 में फिर से सरकार बनी, ये राजनीति में विश्वसनीयता बहुत कम देखने को मिलती है, लेकिन लंबे समय के बाद राजनीति में विश्वसनीयता देखने को मिली है कि एक व्यक्ति और विचार के आधार पर लोगों ने पहले की तुलना में ज्यादा बहुमत दिया और कहा कि आप इस देश को आगे बढ़ाइए, इस देश की सीमाओं को मजबूत करिए। और मोदी जी एक गरीब परिवार से आते हैं, उन्होंने प्रत्येक अनुभव को जिया है, महसूस किया है कि गरीब का दर्द क्या होता है। और आज जब उनको राष्ट्र की सेवा करने का अवसर मिला तो उन्होंने प्रत्येक समस्या का समाधान भी किया। आप लोग भी अब चिंतन करने लगे हो कि 60 साल में हम भी सरकार में रहे, हम आखिर वो काम क्यों नहीं कर पाए जो मोदी जी ने 8 वर्ष में कर दिया। हम ये काम क्यों नहीं कर पाए जो गरीब को गणेश मानकर इतनी योजनाएं, न सिर्फ सपना दिखाया, उन योजनाओं को मूर्त रूप देने का भी काम किया। वो एक दिन में नहीं होता है, जो 60 साल में नहीं हुआ वो 8 साल में करके दिखाया।
Amity faculty have filed over 1,700 patents. Yet another reason why Amity has been conferred with the National Intellectual Property Award by Government of India for being the top Indian academic institution for patents and commercialization.
Opposition leaders who are protesting at this point in time. Earlier, this was a scheduled meeting of the opposition leader. They are demanding the discussion on the Adani issue. That is something, the line which has been taken by the opposition leaders. Whereas the government is of the view, government stand is that they want the presidential speech to be happen, and after that, the discussion can happen in the 0 hour. The dramatic visuals we are getting from the Jantar Mantar of the National Capital. These are the Karyakartas of Indian Youth Congress, and they have been detained now. As they were protesting over here, they were crossing the barricades at the Jantar Mantar. Now they have been detained.
The Congress workers, there is a scuffle between the Congress workers and the Jammu and Kashmir police. The police has stopped the Congress workers from coming. However, the police has made it amply clear they have been denied the permission to move out from outside the Congress office, but they say that they won't stop, and this is the government's failure. Congress workers are now being detained by the Jammu and Kashmir police.
Earthquake magnitude consisted of 7.4 and it lasted for 40 seconds. A lot of buildings collapsed during first 10 seconds, and situation in southwest east of Turkey complicated by the weather. It is a snowstorm now in the area.
The Congress workers, there is a scuffle between the Congress workers and the Jammu and Kashmir police. However, the police has made it amply clear they have been denied the permission to move out from outside the Congress office, but they say that they won't stop, and this is the government's failure. Despite many clarifications by the union government, the Congress seems to be in no mood of coming into the house, and that's why these massive protests are taking place here in Jammu as well.
The dramatic visuals we are getting from the Jantar Mantar of the National Capital. These are the Karyakartas of Indian Youth Congress, and they have been detained now. As they were protesting over here, they were crossing the barricades at the Jantar Mantar. Now they have been detained.
Earthquake magnitude consisted of 7.4 and it lasted for 40 seconds. A lot of buildings.
Top headlines at 12:30. Attempt to tarnish Judge Gauri's image fails. Top court dismisses petitions. Face-off over mayor elections. BJP takes to streets. AAP stages counter-protest. Adani storm wanes, but opposition stages protest, stalls proceedings for the second time. Amazon removes book Modi and Me from platform, cites Hindutva-themed literature as a reason. Miffed over the possibility of losing or hosting Asia Cup rights, Pak cricketer Javed lashes out at India. Death toll mounts to more than 4,000 in Turkey and Syria. India sends humanitarian aid. Thanks for tuning in this Tuesday afternoon. We are live and breaking. I'm Samiksha Srivastava. Straight up starting with a top focus. This one, the news that's coming in from the national capital where the AAP and the BJP continue to stage protests. This over the Delhi mayor elections. Now remember, the procedure to elect the Delhi mayor was stalled for the third consecutive time. Protests and counter-protests taking place in several locations in the national capital. Well, the visuals on your screens right now are from outside the AAP office where the BJP is completely up in arms, staging a protest against the Aam Aadmi Party. Simultaneously, the Aam Aadmi Party workers are also staging a protest outside the BJP office. So those are the visuals in which you can see the BJP staging a protest against the Aam Aadmi Party. Also remember, the councillors of the Aam Aadmi Party on 5th of February had written to the MCD's presiding officer seeking debarment of aldermen from voting in the mayor election.